like to start by offering my most loving pranams at the divine lotus feet of Kumar, Sathya Sai Baba. A loving salam to all the fellow devotees who are present here. On this joyous occasion of Alwarpet Samithi's 19th anniversary, I would like to extend my best wishes to all the members here. While I am relatively new to the Samithi, it's been only little over 10 years since we relocated to Chennai, and it's been just about 2 years since we moved to Alwarpet. Prior to that, we were staying in Alumunus, the Hiranandani complex. So there also we used to make an attempt to be a part of Samithi activities. But I think being a part of Alwarpet Samithi has been very unique purely because the kind of encouragement, love, affection which was showered by all the members, new joiners, I think that is something very unique. We never felt out of place. Apologies, I am speaking in English because none of us can speak in Tamil. My mother tongue is Telugu. So again, language becomes a barrier. But I think the way everyone embraced us, a sense of belongingness was there. Definitely was there. So I'm sure the whole credit should go to all the senior members of this Samithi. Now, coming to the program, Balvikas program, I must congratulate all the children as well as the gurus who were Balvikas gurus who were involved in organizing this event. I am reminded of a couple of instances, right, during my college days, where Swami used to always make a specific reference and acknowledge the contributions made by the parents who were part of Sai organization and especially Balvikas gurus, right? And I have seen multiple occasions where Swami would acknowledge the efforts put in by a student's parent in front of everyone. So that's the importance which Swami gives, and I'm sure it's quite a difficult job managing so many small children, right? And then getting the act out of them. Also, this whole the skit which was played at the end of the program about the blood donation, the importance of blood donation. I'm reminded we had just joined the campus in the 1993, and Swami was in Vrindavan, and I had the first occasion to donate blood. In the hostel, whenever there was an announcement that general hospital or super specialty hospital needs blood, there used to be a scramble. People, a kind of stampede, people used to rush from every floor, and then there used to be huge disappointment if they didn't get a chance to donate blood. That was the eagerness. That was the eagerness and enthusiasm to please Swami. That if I get a chance to go and donate blood, Swami will be very happy. And then in Parthi, another incentive was the food in Super Specialty Hospital was very good. So one of the incentives was whenever we had a chance to go to Super Specialty Hospital and donate blood, we used to be treated with a fantastic meal. I'm not saying the hostel food was bad, but those who have been in the hostel would know how it is, right? So those were the incentives. Again, I think I've been asked to be a guest speaker here, give a spiritual talk. But after seeing the proceedings, looking at the age group, from children to senior citizens, they were so much entrenched in devotion that talking about spirituality to such a gathering is like showing a candle to the sun, right? It's very embarrassing to me to talk about spirituality here. I'll narrate a story of Leo Tolstoy. Small anecdote. There was a bishop, a priest, who gets to know that in a small island there are three hermits who are seeking salvation, right? And they have their unique way of prayer. It's an island where these three hermits are staying, just three of them. So the bishop decides to go and help these hermits. And he takes a vow that I'll help them to achieve salvation and I'll help them to gain God. So he goes on a boat, meets the three hermits, and he asks them, how do you pray to God? The hermits explain they have a very simple, crude way of prayers where they are seeking support from the God. The bishop explains this is not the way you should pray to God. And he tells them there is a method of praying to God, make them practice. And once he is satisfied that they have learned how to pray correctly, the bishop tries to makes an attempt to take a leave from them. So next morning, the bishop leaves back in a boat. The three hermits wake up and realize that they have forgotten the way how to pray. So they are looking for the bishop where he is, and when they see that he has just started on a boat, they run behind the bishop. And in their pursuit, the bishop realizes that they have started walking on the water. The story here is, initially the bishop is astonished, but he is then numbered by the devotion and faith of these hermits. So form is not important, substance is important. Faith is more important than prayer. Please understand this, and as long as we adhere to that, as long as we all have the rock solid faith in Swami's teachings, I think that should be good enough. Right? Okay. Some of you, I have never done a formal introduction about myself to the Samithi members, and not all would be aware about who I am. So let me take a few minutes to introduce myself. My full name is Sridhar Paidichetty. I was born and brought up in a state called Chhattisgarh, central India. Hindi speaking. Mine is a Telugu family. My father is a doctor, medical professional. He still runs a clinic. He had the opportunity to come and participate in some of the Samithi bhajans as well in Chennai, in the Alwarpet Samithi. And my mother is a homemaker. We have three siblings. We did our schooling in Kendriya Vidyalaya. We studied in CBSE curriculum. And in Balco, there was a Samithi. There were two families who used to conduct bhajans. They used to conduct some of the service activities as well. My father was very regular. I was not so interested in any of these activities. I never participated. At times, we used to have bhajans at home, so that time we were compelled to sit and help the family. But otherwise, I was not very keen. We were, all the kids, all the three siblings were average in our studies. And after our 12th, my father asked me, what do you want to do? So I was not very interested in engineering or medical profession. So I said, whatever you say, I will do. So my father said, why don't you apply for Swami's college? So he got hold of the application prospectus and we filled it up. We got a call for writing an examination. So myself and my father, I still clearly remember that the way to Puducherry from Madhya Pradesh was through Chennai. And we spent a few hours in Chennai Central Station. I never knew that I will be spending significant years of my career in Chennai eventually in the future. We went to Puducherry. I wrote the written exam. There was a group discussion, interview, everything was done. And to my surprise, I was selected. I was not expecting a seat to be offered. In those days, after the examination, after all the screening was done, a list was given to Swami. A list was given to Swami that Swami, these are the students who have been enrolled, who have been selected for these various courses which used to be offered in both Prashant Nilayam, Vrindavan campus, as well as for the girls in Anantapur campus. So Swami used to go through the list, and then at times used to add some names to the list. So I was allocated Vrindavan campus. So I was initially a bit disappointed because Swami generally stays in Puttaparthi, and only during the summer he comes to Vrindavan, and during vacation from Vrindavan he goes to Kodaikanal. But then what fortunately happened was the construction of Sai Kulwant Hall started at the same time, and during those times it was not possible for Swami to give darshan in Prashant Nilayam. So we were very lucky that for the entire undergraduate program, Swami almost was in Vrindavan campus alone. And those who are familiar with how the campus life is in Swami's colleges, and especially in Vrindavan, after college hours, after the evening bhajan, Swami used to call all the students to pray Vrindavan, which is a lotus-shaped residence of Swami, and there was a very beautiful chula, and students used to gather around Swami's chair, Swami's chula, and Swami used to talk. And those sessions we still cherish. It was like getting a group interview every day from Swami. And Swami used to be very jovial, crack jokes, used to encourage performances, people used to come and talk. We used to have state presidents of various states, including Tamil Nadu, coming and talking about what activities are being done. And Swami used to encourage them a lot. So that's how we got to know a lot about how the organization is working, what is happening in that space. Needless to say, we were witness to numerous miracles. Swami created devotee, chains, rings, watches, bracelets. All that was pretty common. Almost pretty much every day we used to witness that. In fact, during one of those live sessions, one of our batchmates painted. Suddenly he painted. Swami got up from his chula, took his tumbler which had water, and poured it in the student's mouth, and kind of he revived. Right? So those are the small things which we are witnessing on a daily basis, and that used to be very wonderful. After finishing my undergraduate program in Vrindavan campus, I had the opportunity to pursue higher studies, and I got selected for the management program. I did my master's in financial management, which is MBA finance equivalent, and I had the opportunity to go to Puttaparthi. And then after I finished my studies, I moved to Mumbai, the beginning of my career, and then subsequently worked in a couple of organizations in Mumbai. I was posted overseas. I was in Mauritius for 4 years, and then in 2014 I relocated to Chennai. I currently work for a bank in Chennai. I'll talk more about my academic journey at Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, but I think there is one point which I would like to clarify. When Narayan sir asked me how do you want to be introduced, I said if you can mention Alumunus, Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, that should be fine. Because there is a difference between alumnus of Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning and a science student. Both are not same. Right? You might get a bit confused why I am saying this, because a science student is not someone who has studied in Swami's colleges. A science student is someone who follows Swami's teachings. Right? So I don't have to talk about how to become a science student, because there is so much inspiration I can draw from this audience. There is so much work people are doing in the best of their capabilities across the hierarchy of this organization. Right? It is really important to follow Swami's teachings. many a times Swami used to get upset when students are not listening to him. And Swami used to say that there used to be a song about following Swami's teachings, and there used to be a play also which was being enacted during Swami's childhood days about following good conduct. Chippinattu Chestara. There was a drama which so basically Swami used to say that if you don't follow my teachings, then there is no point in saying that Swami we love you, we want to be with you. Because the true mark of respect one can offer to Swami is to follow at least one teaching in your lifetime, right? And follow it diligently. Swami also says that tell me your company and actually tell you what you are, right? In this context, let me narrate a small anecdote. You all are aware that every summer Swami used to take select set of students, faculty members and a set of devotees to Kodaikanal. Parthi was his office, Vrindavan was his home, and Kodai was his playground. This is what it used to be said. Because Swami used to have a lot of fun with the students, used to crack jokes, do pranks, and it used to be very enthralling to hear about all the incidents which happen in Kodaikanal. The journey to Kodai was always by road. Swami used to take a car and students used to follow Swami's car in a bus. During one such occasion, Swami decided to play a prank. On the way to Kodaikanal, Swami got down from the car, he got into the bus. Devotees did not know that Swami has done this. So, and word has spread that Swami is going to Kodai, so people were here to have a glimpse of Swami. So they were lining up on the roads and to have a darshan of Swami. And as a part of that, even though they were not able to sight Swami in the car, they were offering flowers and salutations to the car. Right? And Swami was having a good laugh in the bus. Right? Then came that big divine message where Swami said, see, just because the car is associated with me, it is getting all the respect. Right? Similarly, when somebody is called as Swami's student, you get all the importance and respect because you are part of Swami's institution. Right? I also feel somewhat similar here, where I have been invited for this event because I am an alumnus of Swami's college, right? Because you don't know anything much about me, but the respect of being associated with Swami is what has brought me here and given me this opportunity. Purpose of education. Now, Swami says, end of education is character. You can't do anything good for anyone. The least you can do is to keep quiet. Right? Don't harm anyone. Don't harm anyone's sentiments. Swami says, my life is my message. And it should eventually transform into your life is my message. Which basically means that those of us who believe that we are Swami's students, who follow Swami, our conduct should make others believe that this boy, this girl, this person is truly living Swami's values. That is what the importance. During our times when we were pursuing college education, many parents used to send their children to Swami's Institute purely because they wanted them to earn Swami's Samithi, Swami's company. They wanted their children to transform, right? Definitely there are degrees to be earned, there is a livelihood to be made, but at the same time, that was the whole intent. The purpose was not focus on job or salaries, but how one can be with Swami to earn his grace. I will narrate a small incident involving Professor N. Kasturi. It's so happened that in the 70s, a family, a devotee, wanted their children to be enrolled in Swami's college. This family hailed from Madhya Pradesh. Madhya Pradesh followed a different academic board, just like I refer to CBSE as a curriculum. Similarly, Madhya Pradesh State Board was one type of education. In Bangalore, affiliation was to Bangalore University. In Andhra, there were different boards where education was pursued. So, when the students, the prospective students approached the college for admission, they said that the Madhya Pradesh board is not recognized for admission purpose. And they said that we cannot offer your elder son an admission for graduation program, but we can definitely offer him a seat in the 11th standard. Not for the college, but for the 11th standard. He can complete his school education here once more and then get into the college. But for the student, for the prospective student, it was like 2 years getting wasted. So the parents went to Professor Kasturi for consultation. What should we do now in this situation? We are not getting admission in the college. Mind you, in the 70s, Professor Kasturi was already retired from his profession, and if I remember correctly, he was the editor of Sanatan Sarthi English edition. When this predicament was heard by Professor Kasturi, he chuckled, he laughed. He said, even at my age, if I get an opportunity to be a student of the standard 11, I will be happy to join the school. The reason why he said was, gaining Swami's proximity, Swami's Samithi is more important than any other thing in the world. Right? We have heard so many times Swami talking about how he has held back people to gather and crowd Puttaparthi, because Swami's fame, name, miracles spread far and wide, but he still held back so many devotees, yogis who are doing penance in the Himalayas to come and flock to Puttaparthi so that he can give us the happiness, the ordinary regular citizens who have the good fortune of knowing him and seeing him. The whole idea was Swami wanted us to enjoy the proximity, right? That's why he said he had back so many people from crowding and flocking the place. There is one more incident which was I think narrated by Professor Kasturi, where Swami held his hand and lo and behold, Professor Kasturi was able to see and witness a lot of celestial beings, Devis, Devtas, all around in the Prapancha, coming to Swami for consultation, coming with their prayers, coming with their problems, right? So, many a times we don't realize the good fortune we had, right? And that is something which is very important to remember. Now, about the word on the Balvika's gurus, I wanted to talk about gratitude towards gurus and towards the parents. It is very important why Balvikas as a platform is important to nurture children at a very young age. When I was looking at the program and children so nicely dressed, I was reminded of my own children, our experience in Mauritius where we had enrolled our kids into the Balvikas program and they were performing on stage. Our kids are grown up, but we going to college. But yeah, so that is very important because at the right age, when the Guru guides the children, it helps the sapling to grow in a right manner. Like, you are nurturing that tree, nurturing a plant to blossom into a big, strong tree. And these interventions at the right age are very important. One more thing which is important is we should not limit ourselves to the spiritual knowledge, but also make use of this knowledge into service to the society. So I expect and I request all the parents to encourage their children to be a part of the organization and to the best of their capability support any service activity, any type of activities. The second thing which I want to tell is, yes, when the children are young, they will absorb, they will reflect whatever is told to them. When it comes to their conduct, children will do what they see. Children will not do what you tell them, right? So it is equally important for the parents to be good role models for the children, because finally the children will imitate what the parents are doing and not what they are going to be told, right? So just be mindful of that. So let me share a few experiences also. Let me talk about the student days. We all were very average in our studies in the 12th standard, and when I got into the college, it was kind of a shock to me, because 50% of the batchmates were from Chennai, and each one was extraordinary in their academic performance. So we felt it was kind of a status check that, you know, you came from a small town, got into Swami's college, and when you see who are your batchmates, each one is so much endowed with talent and knowledge. It was really humbling experience that, you know, Swami's colleges were attracting so much talent. And when you are part of programs like Bhavikas, you develop a lot of skills, a lot of art related knowledge as well, singing, Vedam chanting, some form of dance, some kind of cultural enrichment of personality. I didn't have that opportunity during my childhood days. So what came naturally to me was that how can I contribute to Swami's mission being a student? And each student had this opportunity to participate in some function of the college or the hostel. So I had opted for being a part of the audiovisual department, which is nothing but setting up mics, playing, getting up at 4 o'clock, playing the music so that students get up, then playing Hanuman Chalisa in the evening. One of the perks of being in the audiovisual department was when Swami was in Vrindavan, you had the first opportunity to have Swami's darshan. Why I say this? Because you all know that when Swami comes out of his residence, music is played. It is not played automatically, right? Somebody is doing that. So it was the audiovisual group which used to stand behind. So early in the morning at 7:30, quarter to 8, Swami when is coming out from Trai Vrindavan, there are only 2 or 3 people, the students who are responsible for audiovisual team, and we used to have the first darshan of Swami. We used to play the music, and then Swami used to enter the Sai Ramesh hall at that point of time. It is said that if you have an opportunity, you are truly blessed if you have darshan, sparshan, sambhashan, right? That opportunity if you have with Swami, that is a situation or that is a scenario where you are truly blessed. The first conversation I had with Swami was a scolding I got from Swami. The words which Swami used was, "Buddhi ledu, Swami vaste music on cheyadam telida." Basically what had happened was, we had one professor, I will not take the name, who had the keys to the audiovisual room. And always at 3:30 after the college hours, we used to run, freshen up, and we stand outside Trai where the audiovisual room was there. And because as and when Swami comes, we used to play the music. On one day the professor got delayed. Swami is out. He is waiting, standing in front of us. We were sweating. Swami is waiting, standing in front of us and waiting for the music to be played, and the room is locked. And we are looking here and there when the professor would come. And Swami got angry and said, "Don't you have sense? When Swami comes, should you not be playing music?" That was the first interaction which I had with Swami to be directly at my face. So that was the kind of, again, that's a blessing, getting scolded by Swami, which will have its own, I would say, some impact on my life, personal life, I'm assuming. Okay. Another experience which I would want to mention here is, you all know that how students can get when Swami behave, when Swami calls them, right? They will scramble, they will run, there will be a stampede-like situation, and devotees generally don't like when students behave that way. So suddenly they will run very fast. At times they can, by mistake also, they can hit some of the fellow devotees who are there sitting on the way. So once Swami got really angry and he said, tomorrow onwards, there has to be a structured way through which students should be coming to drive business. During my stint of 5 years, only once lots were taken. Only one day lots were taken. What are lots? Just like for darshan, lots are taken and then 1.1, 1.2 like that. I got 1.1. Only once in 5 years that lots were taken. That was one opportunity. And what is the advantage of getting 1.1? You will be first in the queue. Once the darshan is over, you will be the first one to enter Trive Vrindavan, and you can take the vantage position, which is just under Swami Chula. So that day, after the darshan, I ran, sat just under Swami's Chula. For the almost entire Trive session, Swami kept his feet on my lap, and I was doing Parasat. I kept pressing, and then after almost 45 minutes or so, Swami said, "Chalo, chalo." So that was one experience which I always cherish. That these are the small ways to which Swami blesses you. During 70th birthday, this is one more experience. During 70th birthday, we decided to do something different for during the annual sports meet. So there was one student who had one of the family members in the military police, Bangalore military police. So the Bangalore military police personnel came and they trained us to perform bullet stunts, bike stunts. So one or two devotees spared their bikes, bullets, but we needed at least 7 or 8 bullets. So some devotee who had contact with the Royal Enfield dealer, 8 new bullets were sent to the hostel, and we practiced on bullets. So apart from doing various stunts like standing on the bullet and doing various gymnastics, and then the second one was making formations like a pyramid. 4 or 5 bullets will be together, and then people will be sitting on the shoulder and standing. And then one or two highlight events, which was doing a ramp jump, where students would be lying down and the bullet will come on a ramp and jump over the students. And one was big wall jump. So not the real bricks, but wooden bricks were placed. A bullet will jump, come on the ramp, break the bullets, break the bricks, and then come down. So we were practicing, a lot of practice sessions were conducted. I think one day before the main event, during the practice, I fell down. I have the injury marks all over the body to remind me that is the prasadam from that event. And I was supposed to do the brick wall stunt. So there were bandages all over on my hands, on my knees, on the shoulder. But somehow I pulled it through, and I think Swami was very happy with the show. And one of the students who did the ramp jump, a lot of students lying down, got a ring created for Swami, created by Swami. So that was a memorable experience. And again, many a times we don't know what form and shape Swami blesses us, we should be always grateful for the opportunities which were given. The miracle here is, after the program was over, Swami blessed the military police personnel who had come and paid us. And since I was there at Tribe Vrindavan, behind SSSIHL, the military police requested Swami for a group photo. During those days, we didn't have digital cameras, we had a roll camera. So the police personnel was standing, Swami was at the center. Swami asked me to click a photo. So I clicked the photo. Swami asked me to click one more time. So I didn't understand why he's saying, but I clicked one more time. There were 36 images supposed to be there in a row. I sent it for development. To my surprise, the first 35 were blank. Only the last 36th one had the image of the military personnel and Swami. So I was so scared and so relieved. For the military police personnel, it is the opportunity of a lifetime to get clicked by with Swami, right? And if Swami had not told to click one more image, then the photo wouldn't have materialized. I was so happy. I got some 18 copies made of that image and sent it to the military police head. Okay. So during my MBA days, I think it was in 1996, Swami decided to conduct a management workshop where he used to come to the institute auditorium and address the management students, MBA and MFM students in the gathering. It was a cozy group, all the department of management, the vice chancellor. At times, a few guest speakers were also invited, but mostly it was Swami talking to students. And during those sessions, we were witness to a lot of things which we generally don't hear. Swami talking about total quality management, activity-based costing, right? How we can offer more value with less, man management. These are topics which were kind of, we don't hear about these topics in open discourses. And Swami used to explain these concepts with example. Let me take one example. While introducing the concept of total value management, Swami created a Schaefer pen. It was a golden pen. And then Swami opened the pen, he showed the golden nib. And he said that, I'm talking about 96, right? During those times, that pen used to cost thousands of rupees. And he gifted that pen to the vice chancellor. The intent of creating that Schaefer pen was, Swami said, see, you can ensure the same high standards of quality, but you can reduce the cost. He gave the example of how this 22 karat gold can be replaced with 18 karat gold. How the gold nib can be replaced with a platinum high quality steel nib. Right? Those were the examples. That's how we used to convey concepts of management. He introduced us to a new subject called creative marketing. And he said that students who are done MTech, who are done completed MFM MBA should set up their own ventures and resolve real world problems. And he gave the example of people who travel on business. And he said that many a times when you look for a shaving razor in your bag, you might get hurt because you might touch the blade by mistake. And then he created a small object. It looked like a lipstick. So we were all surprised that, the whole gathering is men and Swami has created a lipstick. Then when he rolled it, a razor popped out of it. Yeah. And Swami said, see, this is creative marketing. It is safe. So when you roll it back, the razor goes back, water gets completely drenched out of that, and then it is safe, completely safe, potable. So that's how Swami used to, educate and take a lot of time and attention. There was never a requirement for Swami to spend that kind of time and effort with us, but that was his love and grace, right? To help us learn and gain his grace. Lastly, when we were about to finish our MBA program, and we were all having our project reports in our hands, Swami, we were all praying to Swami that Swami, you should bless us and you should talk to us. That we are about to leave your college and you should talk to all of us. But Swami has his own ways of dealing with us. So, group of around 40-50 students were seated. We were seated in the front with our reports in hand. So, Swami, how can Swami address and meet everyone's desire? He came and stood in front of us and said, how many Kartiks? The 5 Kartiks raised their hand. Okay, so he addressed all 5 of them. Then he said, how many Sridhars? So I raised my hand. There was one V Sridhar, there was S Sridhar and one Sridhar Paidichetty. We all raised our hands. So Swami has his way of reading our minds and then calling out names and then addressing each one of them. So these are the small experiences which we had. And then after I finished my studies and went back to Madhya Pradesh, or Chhattisgarh rather, job opportunities were not there. One has to be based, I'm talking about 20-25 years back, things were very different. India had not opened up. So I was waiting for a job opportunity. We had applied for a couple of places. At that point of time, there was an opportunity to go for Seva. So when I said that I was born and brought up in Chhattisgarh, during that time the state of Chhattisgarh was not carved out. It was still the state of Madhya Pradesh. So I went along with the Madhya Pradesh Seva team and did a month-long service in Mandir. So I got the opportunity to be where Swami gives darshan and doing all the necessary work around preparation for darshan, rolling out the carpets, cleaning, taking care of the pigeons, all that, right? So 1 month I spent there, and always this thought was there that I completed my studies and I didn't get a job. Right? After Madhya Pradesh group left, Maharashtra Seva came. And the people who were there at the Mandir said, you don't have a job, you are sitting idle, why don't you continue here for 1 more month? So I changed my badge from Madhya Pradesh to Maharashtra Seva. I did for 1 month Maharashtra Seva. And now I have joined Tamil Nadu Seva. So 3 states I have supported so far. So I was young then, I could do more activities. So Madhya Pradesh Seva Maharashtra Seva happened. So during one of those Seva activities, there was one person who observed me in the Seva. He was a chartered accountant and he was providing consultation to various companies, and he suggested my name to one of the service coordinators for Bombay, who was there quietly observing. I didn't even know. And he called me. What are you doing? Who are you? Do you want to? Are you looking for a job? And that is Swami's way, right? That I decided, because I was idle, nothing to do, I decided to go and do Seva. And here Swami is there, who is listening to prayers and who is looking at our concerns and worries. And then he said, he arranged for a job without any interview. He got a person, a recruiter kind of thing, and then Mandir itself, I was asked to come to Bombay for a job. So that again was kind of such an overwhelming experience of mine. In Bombay, I was initially placed in a place called Sai Vashi, New Bombay. Sai service activities were gathering pace, Narayan Seva, medical camps, vocational training, a computer center was set up, a bookstore had started, and I was very active in all those seva activities. After cycling, after spending 2 years in the company which the Swami's devotee who had offered me a job, I decided to change career and got into banking. I joined a bank called Alwarpet Bank, and then subsequently after a few years I worked for ICICI Bank and finally Standard Chartered. I shifted to Andheri. Those who are familiar with Andheri, we have Dharmashetra. Again, in Dharmashetra, there were great opportunities to work in the medical center in Dharmashetra, going for medical camps, blood donation camps, Narayan Seva. So there again, I had a lot of opportunities to be part of the mission. And then subsequently, I was posted overseas. I was working for Standard Chartered Bank for 5 years. And in 2010, I was transferred to Standard Chartered Bank, Mauritius. So that's where my children grew up. 4 years I was in Mauritius, and there again we actively participated in the Samithi activities, and that's where my spouse and children, they got closer to Samithi Sai organization because the Samithi was next door, and Swami has his way of drawing people and bringing them under his lap. Right? Many decisions in my life I have followed my head. Only one decision which I followed my heart was to marry Lakshmi. Now she is very with me for the last 20 odd years. But many times people confuse her to be a Sai student. I don't look at like a Sai student from any angle, but people confuse her with being a Sai student because I think because of her conduct. One thing many of you may not know that Lakshmi was a career banker before she decided to call it quits. And at one point of time, she was at a higher grade and drawing higher salary than me in ICICI Bank. She was the senior manager leading a team of ICICI direct and internet banking operations. At that point of time, 20 years back, she was leading a team of 100 staff. So that was a big sacrifice Lakshmi did so that she can focus on our children. And I am grateful to her that she has done a great job raising my 2 kids. Right? I had very little contribution other than paying their fees. Lastly, what I would like to conclude here is each one of us would have our own journeys in life, and we will not always get what we always want and pray for. But if you have steady faith in Swami, and if you believe that whatever Swami is doing is for your own good, then you will never deviate from his path. Never compare your own journey with anybody else. Always remember and pray that Swami, never let us go away from your lotus feet. Right? That's the only prayer we need to have. And the rest, everything will be taken care of, Swami. Thank you. Sai.